Yeah, I mean, just so for my personal thing, look, I know it actually does lose me women that I'm not willing to pay for first dates, but at the end of the day, I don't want to feel like a sucker. I've been there before. I don't want to do it.
Is this something you're dealing with personally?
What do you mean?
Like, is this a problem?
This is something that pretty much all men are dealing with.
Let me ask you, how do you get out of this? Where do you go from this? You don't want to feel like a sucker. I don't know if this happened in the past. What now? How do I get you married?
Well, so okay, we'll get to the marriage thing in a little bit because I know you wanted to talk about marriage. So I'm not necessarily opposed to falling into more of a like taking care of a girl. I certainly have the finances to do it down the road. Okay. But up front, no. You need to I need to get to know you before I'm prepared to do that.
Okay, but what?
The general rule is to not spend more than $20 on a first date. Here's the thing, gentlemen. If you don't spend a single dime on a girl, you're never gonna go anywhere. Let me teach you. Okay, so you swiped right on a girl. She swiped right on you. And now you're planning for a date. 5-star restaurant? Movie? And then expensive dinner? Nope. Walk in the park. Coffee. Not more than $20 or 50, whatever. Put your price and set it. All you need is an hour. Treat this like an interview, but don't act like an interviewer. Once the hour is up, you'll leave. But Redfield's guy, what if the date is really going well? Even better, you get to leave her hanging and craving for more. It's better to do that than spend an ungodly amount of time with her, even if the date is going well. You're a busy guy, act like it. The goal of the first date is to get to know her values. If she acts bitchy because you're at the park, taking a walk and drinking coffee, that immediately should let you know. You're dealing with a low-quality woman.
What did you have to say?
So if you want so badly to be fair and not pay the girl's meal, doesn't that kind of make the girl have less respect for herself and less self-esteem to be willing to go half and half on a first date? So like, does that mean you're setting yourself up to be with less lower value girls because you refuse to appreciate their value from the beginning?
What do you mean appreciate their value?
Like pay for the dinner.
Why is that appreciating someone's value?
From a traditional standpoint.
From a traditional standpoint, but like women are not really traditional anymore. I mean, you mentioned men should be gentlemen. Where are the ladies?
We're right here.
You just said you're an escort. I mean, like, you're not a lady.
Excuse me?
You're a female, but you're not a lady.
What makes me not a lady?
Well, I suppose I'm not a gentleman.
Because I got in a shitty situation at 18 and did what I had to do to survive and pay my bills.
That doesn't undo the fact that, look, you are not a lady. That doesn't make me not a lady. I'm a survivor. I'm someone that's really strong. Like, I don't understand.
Women should just start calling it as it is. You're an escort, not a traditional woman. Doesn't mean what you're doing is bad, but your entire livelihood entails that you have to hang around men. That's not traditional. Women who aren't traditional shouldn't feel entitled to traditional men because that comes with traditional responsibilities.
Okay, this is my guess. I don't have a very friendly face.
Have another guess. Because if you didn't have a friendly face, no one would want to be your bro.
That's true. Exactly, I'm their bro friend, but I'm not their girlfriend.
But why do you think that is? It's not because you don't have a friendly face.
I really don't know, Matthew.
I think she does know, but she doesn't want to put it on blast. I think a lot of women know why they are in the friend zone or why they are not attracting the men that they want.
Of course they do. Women are masters at social dynamics. Unless you're a red-pilled guy, women will play you in various little ways because they are extremely aware of the nuances in interactions, power exchanges, etc. It's us men that suffer from the lack of awareness in this regard.
They want.
Sexy when you said Matthew. I wish you'd do that more often. I wonder, I'm sorry, did you tell me your name?
Yeah.
What was your name?
You forgot? And you said I was special when you gave me the mic.
Maybe we should go for a beer and talk about it.
Don't you dare call me bro! I break your head, I promise.
I can tell you straight off the bat why this woman is single and why so many women are single is because they're argumentative, because
She's right. Most modern women are so darn argumentative. She was doing so well before she yelled at the microphone.
Well, have you finished berating me in public?
No, I mean, like, I'm really here for the question of attraction because
girlfriend.
it never lasts. That's my question. It never lasts.
Well, I was just flirting with you and you shouted at me.
Forgot my name. I'm not interested suddenly.
But why did you use that opportunity to get angry with me?
I'm not
Exactly.
angry with you. I'm letting you know.
We could have had such a little fun flirt right now.
Exactly.
The girl who shouted knew what's up. She said, "You should have said you can call me whatever you want." Missed opportunity for this chick.
I need your name, if you'll
My
help me.
name's Tanu.
Tanu. Tanu. Okay. That energy you had with me when you were having a bit of a go at me, that's actually not bad. I just want you
Exactly.
to channel it slightly differently. This is the thing to know. There are millimeters between you getting what you're getting now and you getting everything you want. Millimeters. I promise you. I know. I promise I know.
Thank you. Thank
If you had just said, you don't remember. When I said, what was your name again? If you said, you don't remember, and I said, no, I'm so sorry. And you said, I'm going to tell you, but you better make that up to me.
Exactly. Humbled. Look at the face. Humbled.
Humbled indeed. Well, at least she's there and learned her lesson. Hopefully, she's out there banging a Chad.
This is not only important for dating, but for marriage, in relationships, because the women, wives, set the tone of the house. If she is having a bad day, the whole house has a bad day.
I agree with the first point, that it's important for marriage. However, I think the second point only happens when the guy has lost frame. Here's another one from Matthew Hussey.
So even though us guys might grow up with the idea that we're supposed to do something, and if we don't get taught by our parents that, we get taught by movies at the very least, we grow up to think we should be doing something, and that makes most of us feel inadequate because most of us have never been taught how to do anything. So now what happens is we walk through life seeing women that we're attracted to and not being able to do anything. That's a guy's life. Some guys approach everybody. Some. But what do you think that is as a percentage, really? What do you think? If this is all guys, this many are running up to every woman they like. In fact, this many are running up to every woman. This many are running up to every woman they like, and the rest of us, this many, will never approach a woman. And the rest of us, we wait for the right moment. And we're not very good at judging when is the right moment. We also don't know what to do when we've decided it's the right moment. That's why you guys constantly experience guys coming up to you and doing creepy shit. So we then ask, okay, with this group of men, should women start being more proactive in order to get them to do something? How many of you have ever been guilty of this?
He speaks in fluent womanese. This is exactly the reason why women's uncompromising indication to like only the top-tier men is quite problematic. Those guys are already swimming in women. They can pretty much do whatever they like and won't settle down. Something almost every woman wants out of their man.
You know what's funny? A lot of the women are laughing because I think we women want to be seen as individuals, but a lot of times we paint a broad stroke on men that all men are a certain way because a small percentage are. And
she couldn't have been more correct. And unfortunately, once these women have a bad experience with a Chad, they'll begin to generalize in that same regard.
Toxic masculinity.
You don't know what that is.
I don't think there's such a thing.
Oh Lord. He wants
Well,
to
let
get
me-
into debates right now.
It's too late.
Let me
Get into this.
No, we can get into it. Let me qualify my statement a bit here. So, I don't believe in adding toxic before the term masculinity or before the term femininity. There are just toxic people. I don't subscribe to this idea of toxic masculinity. There are toxic men, there are toxic women, there are toxic people.
Mm-hmm.
Do you disagree?
I do, because toxic masculinity is a term for the toxic men that utilize it.
Is there toxic femininity? Is that the thing?
Probably, but I wouldn't know what it constitutes. Like, I can't think of it off the top of my head. But
What-
toxic masculinity in like this example is when they're taught to like stray away from their emotions, like not express them, keep it to yourself. Like, you're a man, don't be a pussy, like hold it in, like don't cry. That's what I mean, and I feel like that's when we see it. Honestly, I think it's a root of like a lot of problems, including that, because they just don't know how to express their feelings, and a lot of stuff builds up.
Here we go again with not being able to express their feelings. As if they'd start acting differently if men did express themselves openly.
From the very beginning of time, men were the warriors, the knights, the people fighting, and men or women were
The gatherers, the
dainty
nurturers.
gatherers, birth givers, all that stuff, and that really carries on because ideals and ideals are passed down.
Well, that just tells me women have been the protected sex for the longest time.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask the table. So, do you guys believe in toxic masculinity? Just show of hands. Eric, if you want to just put it. Okay, do you guys?
I'm on the fence because of what you said.
Okay, so if you believe in toxic masculinity, then do you believe in toxic femininity?
Yes.
Let show of hands again.
But how
I
do
mean,
you-
at least you guys are consistent, but I just reject this idea of putting toxic before a term in the same way that it would be like, it might be sexist to say toxic masculinity or toxic femininity. It would be like, geez, I don't want to get canceled. It would be pretty problematic to say like toxic. It would be pretty bad to
can't
say toxic, for example, toxic whiteness or toxic blackness or toxic Jewishness. Do you see what I'm getting at? So I don't know, the idea that maleness itself needs to be pathologized and fixed, it's just like it seems a bit sexist.
Because it is. And it's a feminist weapon created to further demonize and dehumanize men.
I think the whole idea of men just kind of, be strong, don't cry, don't express your emotions, you're gonna look soft.
That's toxic? You think that's
you're
toxic? I think that's desirable. Men should be strong.
But at the same time, it's like you're not allowed to. Your feelings are invalidated. You're not allowed to feel those things because you're a man.
No, but yeah,
you can't-
I mean, I agree with you there. People don't care about how men feel.
Yeah, and I think
And
that needs to be
women,
changed.
just like that women in the video that we reacted to, when men, some of you might disagree, when men are honest, if they're open with their feelings, if they display emotion, women lose attraction for
No.
men like that. Not
That's
not
not
all,
me.
not all.
Yeah, these women don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I mean, come on. Just look at them. Do you think they're the types of women that want a man who'll cry on their shoulder? Give me a goddamn break. Society, and most especially, women do not care about men's problems.
Now, let's hear from the girls. Do you think most girls are objective, or do you think they think they're hotter than they are? Or do they underrate themselves? Go around.
Personally, I think it depends on the person because growing up, I'm obviously not skinny.
Huh? Pearl's asking if you think women are more objective or tend to overrate themselves. Where did that answer come from? The start of the conversation, and she's already directing the conversation to herself. Good start, huh?
Hi everyone, I'm not skinny. So growing up, I was never the beauty standard for anyone. So like all my friends were getting chatted up by people, blah, 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 blah. And I was just the other one, So like I never really thought of myself as an attractive person. Like I would never call myself anything more than a 4. But now, like I don't really care about what anyone thinks about me. Like I've grown into myself and I'm comfortable with who I am now that like even if you guys call me delusional or whatever, I think I'm maybe not a 10, let's not go that far, but like definitely an 8. So like whether you guys think I am or not,
that's got nothing to do with her.
But like,
so what is it that took you from a 4 to an 8 if nothing's changed? What
just
is it that takes you
loving
from a 4
myself
to an 8?
and looking in the mirror and not being disgusted at what I see?
I understand that, yeah.
So
but that doesn't, you're not necessarily being objective about how other people view you, right? Because isn't that what a rating really is? Like what you think the vast majority of people.
Like if I rated myself 1 to 10, I give myself a 5. I think I'm normal looking, and I just think it's based on my results. I think if I was an 8, 9, or 10, I would have had modeling contracts.
It's easy to delude oneself. She said she became more confident, but instead just drowned herself in delusion. True confidence would be someone who knew she was a 4, but didn't care anyway.
This lady kept interrupting the show, and finally DC Young Fly shut it down.
DC! Come on, bitch, keep on talking. I'm out here way at. I couldn't wait to get out here. You stinking fucking bitch. You where you at, bitch? Can't wait to see what this bitch look like. Bring your ass up here, bitch. Doing all that talking. Bitch sitting all the way in the parking lot. Shut your stupid ass up. Oh, God, hell no. What the fuck? Who kept talking? Which one? Not the one with the ugly wig on.
I don't think people should try and make fun of comedians. They're zingers for a living.
I believe this is my car. My car was stolen like about a month ago.
I didn't steal it.
No, well, I'm not saying that. It's exactly the same car. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because the same little scratches on the side, it's also got the wheels that I bought for it. Car, it's a stolen car.
When they make cars, they make thousands and thousands of the same car.
Yeah, I know that, but what I'm saying is, this is my car. You're actually driving a stolen car. Where'd you get it from? Don't mind me asking.
I got it from a dealership.
Which dealership?
Well, you gotta have more evidence than that, bud. Proof in pictures is the way to go.
I doubt it.
They would have done all the checks.
I doubt it. You got this from Audi.
I got this from Audi.
You didn't.
Yes, I did.
You didn't. You bought it off some bloke or something like that.
Why the fuck you lying?
This is my car and it's stolen.
Listen, I paid for this car. I've got the logbook. It's all in my name.
Yeah, that's fine. That's all.
Taxed it and everything.
And it's an auto as well. Ooh, what's the chances of that?
They're all auto, these cars.
They're not all auto.
Of course they are.
No, they're not.
Not sure like what you want me to do.
You're either naive or like you don't know where you've got it from or anything else, or you're just a blatant thief, if I'm honest. Anyway, gonna report it. Yeah, you see.
You can't just randomly come up to people though and say, hey, that's my stuff, cause it looks like the one I had. Dude's not the sharpest tool in the shed. I don't even know if he's in the shed. Although I do have to mention that the woman looks like she's lying.
You want to hear a double standard between men and women?
No. We already knew about them. Nobody's just doing anything about it.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Them glasses built like a square.
Well, at least I can see you fucking round-headed, smooth-faced ass nigga. Boy, you got no details in your face.
I got no details in my face. There's details everywhere.
Details where, nigga? You look easy to draw.
The guy went savage mode and didn't hold back.
Suddenly I'm feeling like it's the right time to tell everybody the story of when I hooked up with Zion Williams.
Why? Keep that to yourself. He did. We don't know who you are. And nobody cares. Like, what is wrong with you?
Why do women feel the need to share everything on social media?
Sorry, don't roll the tape yet.
This is a very small closet, isn't it?
No, it's bigger than the cell that I live in.
It's bigger than what?
It's bigger than the cell that I live in. It's not a small closet.
Ma'am, we don't want to know where you live in. Do you understand that? Did I ask you where you were living?
No.
We do not want to know where you're living right now.
Embarrassed. Very narc.
If your ass don't leave me the motherfucker alone, girl, I go to jail in this motherfucking airport, and I'm dead the motherfucker.
He's a wise man who knows his own limitations.
Where's your husband?
She knows they're not gonna hurt her, so she does whatever. What an idiot.
I pick up this girl, right? She gets in the car, she greets me. The first thing she says is, I'm hungry. I said, oh, word, like, I'll take you to get food, whatever. What do you want? She says, McDonald's. She says McDonald's. That's the first red flag, right? I go, all right, yeah, take you to McDonald's. We get to the drive-thru. Bro, this bitch goes to the fucking worker. Yeah, can I get 100 McChickens? I said, excuse me? I thought she was fucking around, like she was joking. I said, what you mean 100 McChickens? She said, what? I said, huh? 100 McChickens? I said, nah, you're fucking different. She said, what, we could split them? Split them?
She went in there with the intention of using the guy. I mean, come on, dudes. I think we can all see if that's a red flag or not. I don't think I have to explain that.
Would you date him?
Hell no.
Why?
Because he's fat.
He's not fat, but for your information, at least he can lose the weight. You can't.
It's funny because she's the one wearing a fucking cow costume. What the hell is that even? Or is that a Rorschach test turned into a clothing? That's definitely a red flag then. Why is this even a trend now?
Tana was supposed to go on BFFs today, and apparently she bailed on them last minute, which she's done before, and Dave had enough, and here's what he had to say about her.
That's the second time she's used that exact same excuse,
right? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I texted Brianna. I was like, hey, this ain't slick. This ain't slick whatsoever.
What a piece of shit. Like, honestly, she's a piece of shit. I guess that everyone knows she's a piece of shit. Like, that's kind of her thing. And I guess that's the difference in my head between, like, she's a content person, she fucks everybody, she knows how to stay in the news, fine, but there can't be any human who takes her serious. She's a clown.
She might not show up.
She's a clown. Unless you're like, well, no, it's the same way. If you're like rappers do that, I find like they show up 6 hours late for the pizza reviews, but I don't take them seriously. Like I know what I'm getting. Tana is a fucking clown. And I will never take her seriously on any level, ever. We have big guests on all the time. She's the only one who's pulled this shit. She's no A-list star. She's like a clout chaser. That's why she probably has to work so hard to stay in the news. Because if you treat people like shit, you're never going to get the benefit of the doubt. How's that?
There it is. Yeah, man.
Time is the most important resource in the world. You can't get it back. Gentlemen, if a woman doesn't value your time, don't be afraid to walk away.
City's not making it, everybody shake it up and stay alive, stay alive. Stay alive. No matter what I do,
You have failed this city.
All the time I turn around, brothers gather round, always looking at me up and down, looking at my. I just want to say.
Alright, whenever you're ready, take your time, okay? Me and you, don't be nervous.
Should have bought your flower.
I hope she's fine though. Still pretty funny.
I like my dick with some mileage, bro. I like some experience. I like a guy who knows what he's doing.
That's cool, but your pussy don't need to have no.
That's the most direct way that needed to be said.
Like, I didn't know Nicaragua was right next to Costa Rica. Have you guys ever heard of Nicaragua?
Yeah, because we schooled in England, so.
What happens when you find yourself in a situation where sincerity is paramount?
What? The way you're looking at me makes me want to cover up my vagina.
Madam, if I had rubber gloves, I'd do it.
The unfunniest person in the world. Next only to Amy Schumer.
What do you bring to the table? Nothing, dude. I look good. I got a fat ass. You like that. I'm gonna take your money. I'm still gonna be beautiful and I'm gonna go do it to somebody else. Until I find my Prince Charming. Somebody I actually care about.
And this is why when I see females like this with that type of attitude get done dirty by gutter dudes, you know the dude. The dude got her that has her sitting up shaking, crying to her mama. The one that's gonna take her ass down through there. When I see that happen, I often think to myself, this is the universe correcting itself.
Anyway, that's all the time we have for you boys. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and don't forget to like this video.